We've always had a place to watch. Now we have a place to root. We are Root Sports. Interested in having the Timbers 4th Street Team at your next event? When booking our complimentary Timbers 4th Street Team, you'll learn more about the Portland Timbers, while also engaging in fun and interactive activities for all ages. Take a Timbers quiz and be entered to win a Timbers prize, or dress up like your favorite Timbers player. See if you can score a goal against a member of our street team. To acquire more about having the Timbers 4th Street Team at your next event, visit the promotions page under the supporters tab at timbers.com. Portland Timbers would like to give a special thank you to our founding partners, Adidas, Alaska Airlines, Burgerville, Gelwin Windows and Doors, Key Bank, PGE, Providence Health and Services, Root Sports, and Widner Brothers. The Rose City Invitational is presented by Park Lane Mattresses. All right, fans, let's meet the starting 11 presented by Tire Factory. First for the San Jose Earthquakes. In goal, number 18, John Bush. On defense, number 26, Brandon Barklage. Number 5, Victor Bernardez. Number 44, Clarence Goodson. And number 3, Jordan Stewart. At midfield, number 6, Shea Salinas. Number 4, Sam Cronin. Number 15, J.J. Koval. And number 7, Cornell Cato. At forward, the captain, number 8, Chris Wondolowski. And number 24, Stephen Leonard. Available substitutes for San Jose this evening include David Bingham, Kari Stevenson, Adam John, Alan Gordon, Sam Garza, Sean Francis, Freddie Braun, Jason Hernandez, Ativa Harris, Joe Sophia, Brian Meredith, Billy Schuler, Walter Martinez, and A.J. Corrado. And now, let's meet tonight's starting 11 for your Portland Timbers. Starting in goal, number 1, Donovan Ricketts. On defense, number 13, the captain, Jeff JEWSBURY. Number 23, Norberto Paparano. Number 44, Paul Moduka. And number 5, Michael Harrington. At midfield, number 14, Ben Zemansky. Number 10, Gaston Fernandez. Number 21, Diego CHARA. At forward, number 11, Khalif Al Hassan. Number 37, Maximiliano Urruti. And number 6, Darlington Nagby. Available substitutes for the Timbers this evening. Number 33, Andrew Weber. Number 31, Rashawn McKenzie. Number 2, Alvis Powell. Number 8, Diego Valeri. Number 9, Frederick Piquion. And number 12, Shiloh Schuma.
They're going to be sitting right in the middle of the field that are new to the Timbers. A pair of Argentines in Gaston Fernandez, who will play the number 10, that playmaker role tonight, and Norberto Paparato, who will start at center back along with Pa Ka. These two 30-year-olds are the real deal.
Yeah, two proven players, and I think the experience coming in and also where they've played their football and where they've come up with Fernandez at River Plate. You know, it's fantastic, the caliber and the pedigree that they have coming in. And so these are players that are going to be impact players stepping in right away and stepping in from the off. And they've already impressed, as we were chatting with Coach Porter earlier today, they've already impressed him. And so this is a great opportunity to showcase their talent for the first time in front of the supporters.
And there's a good look at the reigning MLS Coach of the Year. Caleb Porter says he is approaching this event as if it really matters. We are playing to win this evening. We are going with a very strong 11, and they are playing for a number of minutes in this match here tonight. It is a four-team tournament. I mentioned that Vancouver Whitecaps FC and Portmore United out of Jamaica round out this field of four, along with the Timbers and the San Jose Earthquakes. Portland obviously will play on Wednesday. They will face the Jamaican side and then wrap it up next Saturday against Vancouver. What strengths does this present for the Timbers, being able to play on their own field 3 times in the run-up to the season opener?
That's fantastic. You think, as a player, you always want to play in front of the crowds as well, too. You look forward to it. Ever more so for myself, I know playing in front of this crowd, it gave you something extra. But as well, it prepares you and it gets you ready for the start of the season. Caleb Porter said as well today that it's almost as if, come the start of the season, they've already played 2 games. So they're 2 games up on the rest of their opponents because they're getting such crowds coming out. You're getting used to the nerves, playing in front of a good size, getting the anxiety out of there, and you're getting that taste of what it's going to be like come March 8th.
Yeah, with all due respect to the friendlies in Tucson or even the ones down at the Wide World of Sports complex that is run by Disney in Orlando, there is nothing quite like stepping onto your own pitch in front of your own rabid fans, the Timbers Army. I tell you, the numbers are there already this evening. So this should be an exciting match. It is a cloudy and chilly Sunday afternoon, about 46 degrees, and we did see some light rain during the first match of this Rose City Invitational presented by Park Lane Mattress. Vancouver and Portmore United, that 5-1 win for Whitecaps FC. The Timbers have yet to lose in preseason play. Ross, they have 2 wins and 2 draws, and perhaps most impressive, they have allowed a total of 1 goal. So they have drawn with Kansas City and Seattle, and they have shut out both the Houston Dynamo and the USL side, Indy 11. How much do victories and results, positive results, matter in preseason?
I think they matter of course, to a certain extent. They start to create the good habits that you want to have, that mentality of setting your stall out for the season and sort of getting off on the right foot. At the same time, when you look back, do the results matter? I don't think they matter as much, but more so the performance and getting in the style of play. The new guys that have come in as well too, getting up to speed, buying into the system, and making sure that they're on the right page. And so that's what matters, I think, the most, and what Coach Porter will be at the end of the 90 minutes today be looking for.
Well, I know that Mark Watson, the new head coach for the San Jose Earthquakes, would agree with you that results don't matter all that much in preseason because his team has not won yet in the run-up to the 2014 campaign. The Earthquakes have lost 3 matches already this season, to Seattle 2-1, to Houston 3-1, and most recently to the Los Angeles Galaxy 2-1. As you can see, the Timbers and the San Jose Earthquakes are making their way out to midfield here at Providence Park. A new name for the facility, formerly known as Geldwen Field. Providence Health and Systems, now a proud sponsor of one of the best facilities in all of North American sports. You can see that the San Jose Earthquakes are debuting a brand new bright red kit here this evening in the Rose City. And now we will head it downstairs to pick up the singing of our national anthem prior to this one between the Timbers and the Earthquakes.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
National anthem for the United States of America. The match prior to this one between Portmore United and Vancouver Whitecaps FC required 2 national anthems, neither of which being that of the United States. The Jamaican and Canadian national anthems. As we mentioned, it was an easy win for Vancouver Whitecaps FC in the opener of this Rose City Invitational presented by Park Lane Mattress. 5-1 was the final. Believe it or not, Portmore United took a 1-0 lead after having their goalkeeper sent off. They were down to 10 men. They then took a 1-0 lead but eventually Vancouver's pressure was too much, and they got goals from Mesquita, the new signing for Vancouver. Harvey scored twice for the Whitecaps. Maddox and Tibert also on the score sheet earlier today. All right, here are the Tire Factory starting lineups. First, for the San Jose Earthquakes, under the new head coach, Mark Watson did a great job as an interim boss for this team after replacing Frank Yallop in mid-season. So he is now the official head coach of this side. And they will go with John Bush in goal, the 37-year-old Major League Soccer veteran. From left to right across the back, it's Jordan Stewart, Victor Bernardez, and Clarence Goodson. Brandon Barklage will make his preseason debut, having come back from a thigh injury. They play a flat 4-4-2 to the Earthquakes. Shea Salinas out wide on the left, Sam Cronin, and the rookie J.J. Koval out of Stanford will partner with Cronin in the middle of the park. Cordell Cato out wide on the right. Two forwards for the Earthquakes, Steven Lenhart, the agitator, and Chris Wondolowski, the captain. All right, the Tire Factory starting 11 for the Portland Timbers under the Major League Soccer Coach of the Year in 2013, Caleb Porter. Goes like this: Donovan Ricketts in goal, and they've got a very familiar and very sturdy 4-3-3. Michael Harrington is the left back. Paul Moduka is a center half, along with one of those Argentine newcomers, Papa Norberto Paparato. Jack JEWSBURY is the right back. The two holding midfielders are Diego Chara, and filling in for Will Johnson, who has flu-like symptoms here today in Portland and will not play, is Ben Zemansky. So it's Zemansky and Chara behind Gaston Fernandez, who is wearing the number 10 tonight. Diego Valeri has worked back from off-season sports hernia surgery and is expected to play about a half an hour tonight, but he will not start. The forwards are Khalif Alassane, Maxi Urruti, yet another Argentine, and Darlington Nagbe. Timbers in an all-white strip. Earthquakes counter in red from head to toe. Very, very light rain falling here at Providence Park in Portland. I'm Keith Blyer, excited about the 2014 season for the Timbers, along with my broadcast partner, Ross Smith. Dave Gantar is our referee, waiting to get us started here. Timbers will be working away from the Army, headed toward the south side of the facility here this evening. Portland, the class of the Western Conference in 2013. Expectations just as high, if not higher, in 2014. Whistle is blown, and Paca drives one quickly ahead for the Timbers, headed strongly away by Victor Bernardez. And again, Bernardez called into action, sliding and knocking the ball over the far touchline. Bernardez, with 18 seconds gone on the clock, has already lost one of his gloves and tossed it over the touchline. Zemansky to JEWSBURY out wide here on the near side. Zemansky came to the stadium this evening not expecting to start, pressed into duty for the ill Will Johnson. That's Gaston Fernandez, the blonde hair, checking toward the ball there. JEWSBURY instead goes into Alassane. Service cleared, but weakly by Clarence Goodson. Quick feed of Nagbe. Out wide to Harrington. Little too much for Gaston Fernandez. And right there, Ross, you see the movement of this newcomer to the Timbers 11, Fernandez.
Yeah, and right from the off as well, too, the way the Timbers, they kicked off, you could see their formation. I know it's a 4-3-3, but the way they go sometimes is the 4-2-4. And right away, they're putting San Jose on the back foot, and they're getting on the front foot. And like you said, it's in the first couple minutes of play, it's led to an interesting ball through. That's just the rain on the turf has carried it, and Gaston just couldn't quite get on the end of it. But that's the movement that he's going to give you off the ball. Such an intelligent player.
Yeah, there's four players up top for the Timbers. Interchangeable in so many ways. Dummy by Zemansky. He gets it back from Fernandez, keeps the ball away from Shea Salinas.
Yeah, it's so fluid the way the Timbers play and how they can interchange, and they have their defensive responsibilities, but as well the freedom that Caleb Porter wants from his players to go forward and express themselves and to show what they can provide in the attacking side.
Alassane, nifty pullback move, combines with Szymanski and then switches the point of attack to Harrington. Harrington fresh off a stint with the U.S. men's national team. January camp, including a trip down to Brazil.
What an unsung hero Harrington was last season. He does all the ugly things so well, and he'll join in the attack, but defensively, his one-on-one defending last year I was so impressed with.
Now, the days of being the unsung hero might be over for Mikey now that he's put the United States crest on his chest and actually has a legitimate chance at making the roster of 25 that will board that plane to Brazil this summer. He's a long shot, but he's in the picture. Plays it down the touchline for Nagbe. Look how high up the park Harrington is to combine with Darlington. Fernandez square to Alassane. Timbers a boss of the ball at the moment. JEWSBURY with his head up. It's meant so much to this Timbers side in all 4 years of their existence. Holding on to that right back spot. Ball picked out by Salinas of San Jose. Dribbling at the back four, square to Lenhart. Out wide to Brandon Barklage, kid from St. Louis who has overcome that thigh injury. Crosses, and it's really not a problem for Donovan Ricketts, jumping high above Wando here in the 4th minute. Barklage heads clear. Szymanski quickly back to Pawcaw, who in less than a year's time has become a true leader of this team.
You look at it right the way through the lineup, you see Ricketts come out and collect that pass with ease, and you think back to last season and every single player on the pitch right now, the impact that they had and how great it was for them to have such fantastic seasons, but as well too that pressure of the expectation that comes now into this season, and it starts today as well too. Just the crowd coming out to have a look, have a little sneak peek at their team for the season, and to see what could become of the 2014.
Fernandez shields from Koval. He's the rookie from Stanford. Earthquakes had one of those last year in Adam John, and he made his mark. Returns to San Jose. So a pair of former Stanford players on this Bay Area side.
It's fantastic pressure on the ball by the Timbers. You see San Jose just couldn't get any breathing room. Within a few seconds the Timbers have got the ball back and their foot on the ball and in possession again.
Nifty touch in there by Chara after they won the ball, and then Szymanski out wide to Harrington.
You see how small they made the pitch as well too. When San Jose had the ball, and as soon as the Timbers get it, you look at it, just breeze, and they get the ball out wide and they get their players into space.
Yeah, it's that contraction and then expansion. Timbers get the ball, the field gets awfully big. They lose the ball and it becomes quite congested for the opponent. There's Paparazzo stepping up with a brave header. He's about as tough as they come. Caleb Porter was singing his praises to us this afternoon. Experienced at the age of 30. He was a captain for his Tigre side in Argentina, and not afraid to mix it up. Harrington keeps the ball away from Cato, and then Nagbe fouled from behind there. I believe that one was on Koval. And we've got our first dangerous restart of this match here in the 7th minute. It's the second game of the Rose City Invitational presented by Park Lane Mattresses. The first for the Timbers. I think it was actually Bernardez that got most of Nagbe there. And we've got a chance to see what Gaston Fernandez can do with a dead ball.
They're squaring up as if it's in range for him, and I think lining up things. Be nice to make his mark in front of the Timbers Army nice and early, and to show them what he's all about.
3 Timbers in an offside position. Now they're checking back. Fernandez lifts it over the top. Goodson stuck out a leg and kept it away from the San Jose goal. Chara immediately reapplies pressure on the near side to Alassane. Square to Chara. Wider still to JEWSBURY. Bends a ball in. Paparazzo was there. Szymanski, sort of a half chance, but he draws a corner kick.
Good play by Jack JEWSBURY there, recognizing that the big man Paparazzo stayed up after the corner kick broke down, and great ball in there for the big man to go and get it.
Paparazzo, 6 feet 3 inches tall, so he does present some danger to opponents.
He's done well there. He hasn't won the first one, but he's made it difficult for the defenders to get a clearance, and Szymanski to get that half chance.
Timbers play short. Nagbe, Fernandez, now JEWSBURY, and a bit of a heavy touch. That will result in a San Jose goal kick. So this Timbers side, since we last saw them, hasn't changed a lot. And in fact, Coach Porter took all of 5 minutes to address the troops at the beginning of the preseason and say, all right, well, here we are again, boys. Let's get right back at it. And simply telling the newcomers to join a very productive and in-form routine.
I think it gets the players on the same page as quick as possible, with Caleb Porter knowing that his nucleus, his team is very much intact. There hasn't been changes. It's the progression of the Portland Timbers, and that's why the new faces coming in. It's more of, come on, fellas, get on board.
Yeah, they really, you got the 2 newcomers in the 11 in Fernandez and Paparazzo. Here is Bernardez standing over a free kick from midfield. Backspins one in, headed high into the air by Kaw. Half chance by Koval on the volley. Cato deep in the far corner. Great job by Diego Chara of earning a throw in here for the Timbers. There are only 2 players among the reserves, the squad of 18, that are newcomers. Of course, Shuma, the draft pick from the University of Maryland. And the backup goalkeeper this season for the Timbers will be a MLS veteran. Andrew Weber is the second goalkeeper here in the 18 tonight, although we do expect Ricketts to go the full 90, along with a number of these first choice Timbers here tonight. Approaching the 10-minute mark. Nifty feet by Nagbe. Square to Fernandez. He's got Alassane wide, takes the shot. It's blocked by Jordan Stewart. Wondolowski checking all the way back. He likes to do that. Gets a little frustrated up top at times. Going for a number of minutes without seeing the ball. Now he's back leading the line with Leonard. Harrington drops for Palmo Duca. Chips one in. Nice vision. Nagbe's heading pass, not quite sharp enough. Cronin to Wondolowski. Cato, he is all pace. Good job of shielding by Michael Harrington.
Great defending again, Harrington. He's not one that will have the blinding pace, and he always seems to be in that right position and get his distances right between his keeper, between his center backs, and never seems to be a fish out of water. And you see it there too, just getting the body there in good strength, just to see the ball carry out for a goal kick.
Yeah, it's those decisions that an outside back makes that are just as, if not more important than any physical gifts that they have. Reading the game and putting themselves in the proper spots, and Harrington has just gotten better and better. Chested down by Bernardez. Drops to Barklage. He'll go all the way back to John Bush. The keeper from Queens knocks one away, and a nice little touch here in the technical area for Caleb Porter, who I'm sure still has a little bit of game left. He was once a Major League Soccer player, although not for all that long. Had dealt with injuries coming out of the University of Indiana, and has said that those injuries, forcing him into his coaching career so quickly, were a blessing in disguise. Here he is, still in his 30s, and in his second year as the head coach of a Major League Soccer side. A team that lost only 5 times during the regular season in his debut year.
What a fantastic impact, and not only the results, but the way they went about the results. And like we saw the Timbers, different faces last season. When there was a fight to be had, they were up for it. But then when there was the chance to play some football, to get the ball on the deck and enforce his style and his philosophy, it was fantastic to watch.
Nagbe driving on the dribble, out wide to Fernandez, cuts it back, crosses with the left, headed away by Barklage, controlled by Al-Hassan. I think that was for Chara. Chara decided to leave it for Harrington, and then Chara turns and gives the thumbs up back to Al-Hassan as if to apologize for an idea that didn't quite come off.
Good defending by San Jose. Even though the Timbers have had the bulk of the possession, San Jose they've defended their box well, and you could see Khalif just trying to find that half a yard, that little bit of light to be able to find a strike. But credit to San Jose, and the ball went missing.
Timbers have certainly been applying the pressure points here in the first quarter of an hour, but they have not tested John Bush just yet. So a very compact and stout defense out of San Jose thus far. Al-Hassan, little diagonal pass into the D, and that's thumped away by the Honduran Victor Bernardes. Harrington keeps it in on the far touchline. Szymanski felt the pressure of Salinas. One touch to Paparazzo. Quick ball movement. Timbers eventually lose out to the Quakes, and Fernandez has to foul Stephen Leonard. So this San Jose team, Ross, won the Supporter Shield just 2 seasons ago and won a ton of games late. Adopted that Goonies mentality, never say die. Well, they came out slowly last year. Frank Yallop departed. Lenhart fouled by Paca, and we could see our first card here of the evening, or maybe just a stern discussion between Dave Gantar and the Gambian. But this Quake side gave Mark Watson, their assistant coach, the interim job. He went on and led the Earthquakes to 11 victories in their final 18-19 matches. So the interim tag has come off of Mark Watson's title, and the San Jose team hopes to return to the postseason in 2014.
And they're a strong side, and that's what I think Caleb Porter was looking forward to the most, was that it was going to be a true test, a test for his new players such as Gaston against the back four of San Jose, and as well to the strikers with Wondolowski, a proven striker who's MVP a couple seasons ago, so him coming up against Paparazzo.
Salinas sends one in. Lenhart got a header at the far post, glancing header, could not quite direct it enough.
So it's a good battle to see that with Paparazzo, Lenhart, and Wondolowski as well too. So Paparazzo can get an idea of what this league is about and the quality that is here.
This is a wonderful way to start this event, this Rose City Invitational, presented by Park Lane Mattress, because these are 2 top 11s out here at the moment for both sides. Suppose the only player really missing for San Jose is the Frenchman that they just signed, Jean-Baptiste Parazzi. He's got a bit of a knock, and they're going to hold him out and off of this artificial turf here tonight. He would play in that midfield with Cronin. Jordan Harvey drops for John Bush, and of course the Timbers still missing Diego Valeri, but he should get a very nice greeting when he enters this match later this evening. That was the plan in talking to Coach Porter this afternoon.
I think that's a big plus for the Timbers this season as well too, is the depth that they have, and And the fact that they have, I think, 2 strong players at each position at least.
Fernandez to the far post, and John Bush, not the tallest keeper in Major League Soccer, jumps up as high as he can get to keep it away from Urruti. Good to see Maxi Urruti back. Had a goal in 5 appearances for the Timbers. In 2013, had that wonderful near post flick on the corner. One of the more difficult goals to score, and he made it look easy, and then promptly suffered a hamstring injury. Finished the season at half speed, if that. Good ball out from Nagbe to Harrington. Cato steps to press. Square to Nagbe. Plenty of touches for Darlington in the middle of the park. That's that interchanging that we've been talking about, Ross. Fernandez is wide left, and he's wide right. Nagbe's supposed to be the wide left player, and now he's in the middle of the park. JEWSBURY one-touch drop to Paparazzo. These Argentines, 3 of them on the field at the moment, and Valeri being a 4th. Have all assimilated very well into this Timbers system. Gavin Wilkinson and Caleb Porter. Gavin Wilkinson, the general manager, were in Argentina during the offseason to scout these 2 new additions. Ball cleared. Is he gonna? Yep, Chara's gonna take a blast, but it goes off of Urruti, and Goodson will drop for Bush.
It was a good strike there. It was going as well with the rain on the turf. If that had gotten through, it could have caused a bit of trouble for Bush.
A lot of people will talk about the artificial turf kind of evening out those bounces, but it can skip differently on an artificial surface than it would on grass. So sure, there are no divots, let's say, but that ball can bounce in funny ways. Salinas far post has got a volley. It's deflected off of JEWSBURY. Almost looked like it was going to find the upper 90. Doesn't miss by much, and San Jose has earned a corner kick here in the 20th minute.
I almost think that Ricketts thought he was perhaps beating you. You see the strike here by Salinas, and it's a wicked deflection off Jack JEWSBURY's back, and Ricketts, no chance for him, and fortunate for him to see it go wide.
Corner kick from the far side, just over a leaping Lenhart. This is Bernardez. His inside of the foot shot is blocked by Chara. San Jose has a shout for a handball. Instead, the Timbers counter. Strong tackle by Barklage, but look at what the Timbers have found. Urruti, his one-touch shot, almost underneath John Bush. Or San Jose thought they were out of the woods there, and the ball came right back at him.
Just from one end to the next. They say it's a preseason match, but you have a Diego Chara throwing his body at one end, and then a fantastic pass by Nagbe that completely cut through the defense of San Jose, and Urruti, I think, just about did everything right, but Bush kept himself big and didn't give Urruti much to strike at. But you see the quickness of play and transition by the Timbers from one end to the next. A few touches and they're in.
JEWSBURY down the line for Alassane. Jordan Harvey defending, and Khalif does a great job of keeping that ball in play.
What skill. Fantastic skill.
He's never lacked that. Alassane has been a wizard on the ball, and extremely strong as well. Not only can he have some fun with it, but you cannot get it off of him.
And that was a question mark with Khalif before too, was his consistency. There's no question about how talented a player he was, but it was doing it game in, game out when he was called upon. And last season, I think we saw how he grew going forward, even more so, but his defensive responsibilities as well too. And it'll be interesting, and looking forward to seeing another year's experience, what that will bring.
Nagbe from distance, just wide of that near post.
And another player's gone strength to strength. Nagbe he came into the league with such an incredible tag upon him for what he would bring to the club, and a franchise type player, and and what a season he had last season, and the expert sort of skills and what he can conjure up out of nothing is just brilliant.
Another look there at the great through ball for Urruti. He had to wait for a moment. Here's more combination play. The one thing that I have seen Nagbe has added to his game, or perhaps brought back, because I'm sure when he was playing for Caleb Porter at Akron, he would dribble at college defenses and they would be shaking in their boots. Well, the one thing that maybe was missing in Nagbe's early MLS career was that killer instinct to dribble right at the heart of the defense, to be selfish at times, to pull the trigger from distance, to try, audacious things here and there, and seems to be doing more and more of that now that his former college coach has rejoined him in the professional ranks. We've already seen Nagbe dribble the ball straight at the center backs for San Jose 2 or 3 times here this evening at the midway point of the first half. Great one-touch football. JEWSBURY back into Urruti, spins, drops for Szymanski. Szymanski starting tonight in place of the ill Will Johnson, suffering from some flu-like symptoms here. He's been held out. Clarence Goodson with a header away and a header back by Salinas. Cleared away in rush fashion by Jordan Stewart, 31-year-old Brit.
Some fantastic passages of play by the Timbers so far tonight. They look as if they've come into the season as a team who have done well, obviously, from last season, but are enjoying their football and have picked up right where they left off.
Really confident style of play at the moment. They're really enjoying it. This is Gaston Fernandez. Runs into a trio of Earthquakes defenders.
I think he was trying to pull the trigger but just couldn't find that space.
Mondolowski, nice job of holding it up for a moment. Cato and then Lenhart. San Jose would do themselves some good to hang on to the ball here for a bit. Possession distinctly in favor of the home side here tonight. Salinas drops for Stewart. And now it's Goodson. Most likely Brazil bound with the U.S. men's national team to the World Cup this summer. Probably the third choice center back at the moment behind Matt Beasler and Omar Gonzalez. Through ball. Kept off of the byline. No. JEWSBURY tried, but it will be a corner kick for San Jose. Timber Soccer is brought to you by JELD-WEN Windows and Doors. Nothing finishes the design of a home quite like JELD-WEN. See their complete line of beautiful products at JELDWEN.com. As that ball sent to the far post is headed down and in by San Jose. Steven Lenhart claiming credit. It was Goodson at the far post. And the Earthquakes have taken a 1-0 lead on the Timbers. Donovan Ricketts still down on his back in his goal.
It's not a sight you want to see. 2 players down for the Timbers in a preseason match. It goes back to the corner kick given. Jack JEWSBURY didn't look happy about the decision, and the referee himself, I think, was closer to the play than the linesman on the far side who made the call for the corner kick, and the referee going off the linesman, and you see what it led to there. Good ball into the box by San Jose and kept alive. And that scramble in, and you look at the big man Ricketts down right now, and you open his back to his feet quite quickly. But you see good ball in, great ball in at the far stick, and it's kept alive, and it looks like an own goal there.
It is, yeah, it is. It's Paparazzo. He had to get up and try because Lenhart was right over his shoulder. He actually beat him to the ball, trying to make a play on it, and I think Papa's intention was to maybe head that ball up and away over the crossbar. Here's another good look.
Such a tough one for a defender. You see Paparazzo, his recovery run, if I'm being critical, was a little slow getting back into position where he's facing his own goal, and you're right, perhaps maybe he was trying to put it over the bar, but if he could have maybe got back there just slightly quicker, he could have been facing out towards and headed that ball away. But
well, that will most likely go down as an own goal for Paparazzo. the good news is that Donovan Ricketts is now up, and Nick Wald has tapped him on the back, and believe the Jamaican will continue. And there's Paka, the effervescent Pa Moduka, finding reason to smile even after conceding a goal and watching his goalkeeper fall to the turf. He waves back to the Timbers army behind him, and you know, you want a side to face some adversity. You want a team to stay away from the trap, let's say, of being overconfident. Well, here's a great opportunity. You come home, your first match on your own pitch, and you're down 1-0. This can be a positive experience for the side, huh?
Yeah, a chance to see the character in the team. There was no question of that last season when backs were against the wall. The Timbers came up trumps, and it's to see it again nice and early as you can. Of course, you never wish for tough times for the side, but you do want to see that character come out and see what sort of substance your players have.
And we'll see the experience, I think, shine through for Paparato. I know he's crushed at the moment. Not the way he wanted to make his debut here at Providence Park.
But the mentality of this player, from what we're told, the reports in, is something that things such as an own goal will not affect the big man, and the impact that everyone's expecting him to have this season is going to be fantastic to watch. Just how he slots in and how solid that will be.
Dummy by Lenhart for Wondolowski. Wando bends one in and leaves it easily for Donovan Ricketts. Did not put enough bend on it. Wondolowski had a good January cap with the U.S. men's national team. Scored some more goals. And Jurgen Klinsmann might have a difficult time keeping him out of the squad this summer. So it's possible that the Earthquakes will be missing 3 key players during the World Cup. Fans of the Timbers, I suppose it's good news if you're worried only about the Timbers. Szymanski, nice little diagonal one-touch ball, but it was carved out by San Jose. Very compact defense by the Earthquakes. Harrington bends one in, and Goodson rises. Very poised back pass there by Salinas, and we've got a pair of players down. It's a Rudy for the Timbers, and it is Victor Bernardez for San Jose. Rudy already up.
I think it's an honest challenge there. Rudy and Bernardez going in the box with a good ball in. But I look back at that play with Gaston. He's very much wanting to get his foot on the ball and to create things to open it up. And one minute he's in the midfield spraying the ball out wide, and then you see the cross coming in, and he's making that front stick run across the keeper, and Rudy coming in just behind, and so that's what we're expecting from Gaston, is for him to get the Timbers taken and to be that creative side.
Well, a half an hour gone here at Providence Park, and the Earthquakes have taken a 1-0 lead on the Timbers. I'm Keith Blair along with Ross Smith. Internet stream tonight on timbers.com. Portland will be back in action midweek. It'll be on Wednesday, as Bernardez seems to be moving fairly well. It'll be waved back on by Dave Gantar here momentarily. Rudy will have to leave the playing field as well. Rudy complaining he didn't think he had to come off because he was not attended to. And we're back to 11 v 11 here. Timbers will face the Jamaican team that's in town. Oh, another tough fall, this time Pa Ka.
That's what Lenhart brings to the San Jose, is that physical battle up top, and sort of backed into Ka there. Didn't really make a challenge for it, but more, as I call it, the table there, where Lenhart has just made himself a table for Ka, having to jump over, and And those are the sore ones, just on your back, as you see cars grabbing there, just a little tweak.
Sometimes the more dangerous moments there on fighting for aerial balls is when one player doesn't jump at all. Caleb Porter with a word or two for the fourth official, Alan Chapman. They're having a chat here. And Boubacar Diallo has got Pa Moduka for a moment over there on the far touchline. See if we can play more than 15 seconds without a stoppage. Game getting a bit physical. Wondolowski, nice little turn on Pa Ka, but the Gambian keeps it in play, although it falls to J.J. Koval. This is Koval, the youngster, 21-year-old from Southern California, out of Stanford. And for Perazzi, who is slated to be a starter for San Jose. Goodson to Cronin. He'll drop it back to John Bush. An own goal off the head of one of the newcomers. Norberto Paparato is the difference in this match. Timbers have had more possession and have driven at the back four of San Jose more than the Earthquakes have come at Portland. But it is a set piece corner kick goal for San Jose. It's Cordell Cato. Harrington backpedaling. Square across the 18 for Salinas. Lenhart loving that dummy tonight. Leaves it for Cronin. Salinas isolated here on the near touchline. Plays a ball in, beautiful ball. And if Ka did not put his head on it, it'd be 2-0 Quakes.
What a touch by Ka there, and a fantastic ball into box. And Lenhart was just waiting that for to sail over Ka's head. But you just see the defensive markings by the Timbers there. There was two men for San Jose in the box, and you're right, if Ka didn't get a touch there, that could have found the back of the net through Lenhart. You see San Jose just growing into the game now. They're 1-0 ahead, but that was against the run of play. But even more so now, they're starting to find their way into the game.
Salinas to take the corner kick. It's Ka again. Fernandez flick-on header. Jordan Harvey pressed hard by Chara, has to drop it to Bernardez. Little Route 1 soccer, flick-on header from Cato to Lenhart. Usually it's the other way around. It should be Lenhart flicking it onto the speedster Cato. Lenhart here in the booze. In for Salinas, headed away by Paparato. Jordan Stewart took a loose arm from Alassane in the face. And a very late call here by Mr. Gantar.
It was a very late call. Don't think the referee, don't think he saw much in it at first, but when he saw Stewart on the ground, on the deck, he felt he had to make a call there. And Stewart just caught the hand of Khalif as he was trying to make the quick 1-2 pass.
Salinas again, he's been serving balls in beautifully, and there's another one. Cobb backpedaling, heads away. And then it's Szymanski thumping one up the far touchline. Jordan Stewart couldn't find either of the holding middies for the Earthquakes, has to use Goodson, and then Cronin eventually gives the ball up here to the Timbers. Salinas takes one off Alassane. Fernandez in a pocket of space, can't quite control. Salinas has lost. It's about as quiet as this stadium gets. It's a good crowd here, but let us be honest. Everyone in the building knows that it's as Cronin takes down JEWSBURY and is going to be booked. Cronin the yellow card here in the 37th minute. As much for persistent infringement, I believe, as anything else. Anytime a referee starts pointing at various spots on the field, that usually is to signal to the player that he's caught a few incidents already. Now we're back underway.
Yeah, right. There wasn't much in it there. He caught Jack late, and I think frustrating for Jack as well too to have that challenge. But I think it was a number of infractions there that earned him the yellow card.
Agby just a tad heavy for Urruti. And Goodson does a nice job. Wait a minute now. We've got some extracurricular activity there beyond the byline. As Urruti got up, it looked as if Goodson kicked his leg out and tripped Maxey. Little horseplay, really.
I think he's one of those strikers, one of those characters. He's definitely got the quality, and that's something special. But as well too, he's got that work ethic, and he's that annoying pain as a defender.
Yep.
That he's always chasing lost causes, and he's always getting stuck in, which is fantastic when it's on your side. But on the other end, as a defender, it gets to you because he's always in the mind.
It's not a fun 90 minutes dealing with those kinds of characters, and that's, if you're the Timbers, that's the kind of player you want up there. Yeah.
And that's why Lenhart on the other side on San Jose earns the boos from the Timbers whenever he gets his foot on the ball is because the Timbers, they don't like him, and that's great to have when you're a San Jose side.
Bernardez floats one in. A lot of stopping and starting out there at the moment. Whistles, fouls, cards, injuries. Ever since Paparazzo, unfortunately, headed the ball into his own goal, there has been very little rhythm to this match. Came at about the half-hour mark. We are approaching halftime now.
Yeah, the flow and the rhythm has just gone out of it for the Timbers side of it in the last 10 minutes. It's getting their foot back on the ball and sort of getting that buzz back. As you said, the crowd aren't as into it just now.
Chara to Olason. Dances toward the top of the 18, cut out by Jordan Harvey, and now Koval to Cato. One touch for Lenhart, misses the mark. And now it's Gaston Fernandez driving forward. He will blast, and it's over the crossbar by a few feet.
I think we all held our breath there as Gaston found himself in a yard of space and just got out of his feet and didn't quite catch it right. He's dragged the ball just high and wide. But again, you want to see that from your striker, from the number 10. Playing in that position, number 10 right now, is you get that half a chance and you take that sniff at goal.
Providence and the Timbers are creating healthier communities together with the Stand Together platform, the revival of the Special Olympics Oregon Fall Games 2014, and partnering on youth soccer camps and field-related projects. All part of the new sponsorship, creating the new name of the facility in which we find ourselves this evening, Providence Park in downtown Portland, 1-0 San Jose. First game of this event for both of these teams earlier this afternoon in the Rose City Invitational presented by Park Lane Mattress. Vancouver Whitecaps FC, despite going down a goal, ended up beating Portmore United of Jamaica 5-1. Jamaican side playing a man down after their goalkeeper was sent off for an intentional handball outside his own 18. Jamaican side will provide the opposition for the Timbers in midweek. Here is Gaston Fernandez. Less than 5 minutes plus stoppage time remaining in the first half. Two-man wall for San Jose just outside the 18. Rudy loves to start in that offside position. It's good 5 or 6 yards off. Now he checks back. Fernandez bends one in hard and low. It bounces once and nearly Palmo Duca. Just the faintest of touches and he would have put it in the side netting. Instead, John Bush with a nice diving save.
Well, it's a fantastic ball by Fernandez. You see that's exactly the danger area you want the ball in, and just it skipping maybe a bit quick for Carr coming up off the turf. But again, he's made a great run and just another half a yard or a little bit better timing, and that could have found the back of the net.
I want to know who's going to take the free kicks for the Timbers, with Gaston Fernandez proving his competency, and Now it's Lenhart and Diego Chara tangling here at midfield. Lenhart is the one called for the foul. The man with Valeri and Will Johnson, all capable of great free kicks. Look at that ball from JEWSBURY. Squares Zemansky, Rudy! And John Bush, so quick, smothers that one.
It's a great play again by the Timbers, and Urrutia, I think, felt he could have maybe done better. There's a lot of pace on this ball back from Zemansky. And Urrutia, just a quick reaction trying to guide that ball in and didn't quite get enough behind it. I think he knows himself too that could have been a chance.
Foul called on the Timbers at the other end of the field here. Salinas making his point to Dave Gantar, and he and Sam Cronin will stand over this restart. Gaston Fernandez is insisting that the ball be moved back a few paces.
Tell you what, that does not look like 10 yards from this distance here. It's plenty for the ball to get up and over.
Lenhart, snap header from 15 yards out, misses the mark.
You see the ball in there, and it's just a glance header. Nothing really to trouble Ricketts.
JEWSBURY a little late with that ball, was deflected by Salinas. San Jose earns it back at 90 seconds plus stoppage time. There have been a couple incidents in which trainers were needed, although in these preseason matches you don't usually see a lot of added time. It's 1-0 San Jose, an own goal off of a corner kick. San Jose sent one to the far post. Clarence Goodson headed back across the face of goal. It was bound for Steven Lenhart. Paparazzo retreating back facing his own goal. Leapt, put his head on the ball, was trying to get it high. You could see with his neck muscles being stretched to the maximum. Just couldn't quite get it high enough, and he nestled the ball into his own net. And that is the difference in this match as we approach halftime. All three of these Rose City Invitational matches for the Timbers will be here on the internet for you, timbers.com. Stewart drives the ball in. Very poised heading pass by Harrington to Chara. Now Alassane burning forward, was pushed from behind by Cordell Cato. Cato, a player that finds himself in a real battle for one of those starting midfield spots. Out wide, Atiba Harris has joined this San Jose side. There'll be 2 minutes. There will be 2 minutes of added time here in this first half. Gaston Fernandez tries to bend one far post, and Bush is up for the challenge yet again. Great pass from Nagbe. John Bush has kept this game even.
Great play in the corner there. Great ball by Nagbe, and Fernandez just trying to curl that ball into the far side, and he did everything right, but Bush had the answer for it and had his angle spot on.
Of course, I meant to say John Bush has kept this game from becoming even. San Jose up 1-0, but his 3 saves in the last 10 minutes have held the Timbers out. So we're in that 2 minutes of stoppage time. Caught a little too much over there for Harrington. I think he saw that Ka was steaming forward on the dribble and figured he'd drop back and provide some cover. And so he was caught on his heels there. Instead of moving forward to accept the pass, here's Cato. Wondolowski streaming forward, pointing to where he wants the ball. Cross is deflected. Timbers have a chance here for a counter before the break, although San Jose does have decent numbers back. And Bernardez walks out with the ball. Cronin drops on the diagonal for Stewart, and they go all the way back to John Bush. Hearing the chainsaw for the first time in 2014. Oh, how I missed that sweet sound.
Such a brilliant sound. Hopefully we'll be hearing that chainsaw plenty this season.
Yep. Paparazzo really getting his money's worth there on Lenhart at midfield. All right, there's the halftime whistle.
That's the end of our first half. Our score is San Jose
Timbers will enter their dressing room down by a goal, having gone undefeated in 4 matches during their preseason trip to the desert of southern Arizona. Steve Lenhart will make a few points before he and the Earthquakes head to their locker room with the lead. It is the 2014 Rose City Invitational, presented by Park Lane Mattress. Keith Blyer and Ross Smith will be back in a few minutes, just prior to the kickoff of the second half. And we'll have all of the final 45 minutes for you on Timbers.com coming up.
Since 1960, when John Wynn began with one Oregon Bellwork flag, we've been dedicated to crafting reliable windows and doors. Today you can see, touch, and feel reliability in our beautiful windows and doors because of their durability, energy efficiency, and worry-free performance. We measure our success by the relationships we build with our customers, suppliers, and communities where we live and work. We partner with organizations such as the Green Building Initiative, which accelerates green building practices by promoting environmentally progressive approaches that are practical, affordable, and accessible. The Rose City Invitational is presented by Park Lane Mattresses. Fans, when you bundle them together, you get a steal of a deal. Regularly a $60 value. When you bundle the We Are Timbers tee and green and gold tee, they can be yours for only $20 while supplies last. Fans, please take a look at our 2014 Stand Together Community Partners.
It's good to see you. It's good to see you again. My home and heart, that's all. It's good to see you. It's good to see you again. My home and heart, that's all.
Want to explore more and spend less? Alaska Airlines makes it easy with great fares to places you really want to go. Bask in the warmth of Hawaii with flights to 4 Hawaiian islands, or follow the Timbers on the road. Fly Alaska to Washington, D.C. and watch the Timbers take on D.C. United. Or head to Chicago to extinguish the fire. Maybe a quick trip down the coast to San Jose to shake up the Earthquakes. No matter where you go, Alaska offers the most flights to the most places from Portland. Explore more, spend less, visit alaskaair.com. turn your attention to the video board as we check out tonight's birthdays and special messages. Tony and Ryan Offercamp are celebrating their birthdays with their favorite fashion, PTFC. Love, Pam and family. Happy 10th birthday, Luke Seeley. Congratulations to the newlyweds, Chris and Lily. Happy birthday, Cindy Weir. KeyBank is a proud founding sponsor of the Portland Timbers. It's just one part of KeyBank's involvement with our community. KeyBank's also demonstrating commitment to Oregon by having opened over 16 new branches in the last 2 years to better serve consumers and businesses. Visit key.com and go Timbers! All right, Rose City, here's a recap of tonight's first half brought to you by CenturyLink.
new members of Toronto FC.
Yeah, and you look at Di Rosario as well too, coming back and a fan favorite with Toronto, and you really get a sense of Toronto with the new ownership coming in and looking after the club, just the mentality of it, and realizing just how the brand, how the product has unfortunately gone downhill over the years, and to see it sort of lift things up again, and these transactions happening with the big name players coming in. I think it's one for the fans. It's one to get the fans back in the seats, and to restore that belief, because Toronto FC, that was a tough stadium to go into and to try and get a result, and that's dwindled over the past few years, and the fan base and the support is definitely there. But now to have these name players coming in, I think the product will hopefully be there for them this season, and to reward the fans for the ones who have stayed with them throughout the years.
Yeah, there's no guarantee that just infusing 3 proven footballers will lead to success, but you're right, it certainly has sold a number of tickets. Tim Leiweke, the man who brought David Beckham to the Los Angeles Galaxy in many ways, is the mastermind behind what they're doing in Toronto. Out here on the West Coast, the news earlier this week that Major League Soccer, the league itself, had purchased the franchise of Chivas USA back from Jorge Vergara, an experiment in trying to align Chivas USA with Chivas de Guadalajara out of Liga MX. Never quite worked, and so now, after one more full year of Chivas, they will remain as Chivas USA for 2014. Who knows what the future holds for that second LA franchise?
Yeah, and I think it's good as well too. The MLS, they're taking a step back to try and get the product, to get the brand correct this time around, and I think there's the market there for the Chivas USA, or what becomes of the organization, and you start to hear big names being linked to the club as well too, with Samuel Eto'o, and they're realizing that they really need to jumpstart this club again, and hopefully you see that with the fans starting to fill the seats, and to get that product back and the quality down there.
Well, no change necessary in the Rose City. Caleb Porter, the man who has made his way back out from the dressing room, having addressed his team. Back in the technical area, Donovan Ricketts, who spent a couple minutes on his backside after the goal was scored, seems to be ready to continue. And there are no changes to the starting 11 for the Timbers. That is what we expected as we begin the second half. It is the same thing for San Jose. So we will see reserves put into this match perhaps at the hour mark. Generally the pattern here for these teams in preseason. All right, whistle blows. Timbers headed toward the Army and trailing 1-0 in this match against San Jose. Second match of the day here at the Rose City Invitational, presented by Park Lane Mattress. Actually has been a change at the half for San Jose. Cordell Cato has dropped back to right back. So Barklage, the man coming back from that groin injury, will only go 45 minutes. Cato drops back to the back 4. Not sure how familiar he is with that position on the field. And it's Atiba Harris, the MLS veteran, who comes on for Vancouver in the right midfield spot. So it's kind of interesting. Harris and Cato are really kind of battling it out for that right midfield spot, and now Cato will drop and play right behind Harris here in the second half. Alassane takes a tumble, whistle blows, and it is a free kick here for the Timbers as we get the second half underway. Taken quickly. Goodson heads away. Look at that touch by Gaston Fernandez on the clearance. Nice one-touch volley by Arudi, back in from Zemansky. Diving header away by Bernardes. Good look by Harrington. Chara checking to the ball. Wants to find Nagbe and does. Cuts to the right on Cato. Chara is going to spray the ball all the way across. Fernandez shields from Harvey. Now Alassane. Look at the run by Arudi away from goal. Now that is crafty movement by a forward. He just needed to finish a little bit better.
Yeah, it's a great run. He's pulled away from the defenders and found himself in yards of space. And I think with Arudi, with with his level of play that he should be at least testing the keeper a lot more than that there.
Yeah, the whole thing was almost in slow motion, how effective it was. Rudy dropping off from the 6 to almost the top of the 18. Alassane patient in waiting for him. It's the contact on the shot, not what he wanted. Harrington a bit frustrated with his heavy touch here on the near side. Goal kick for San Jose.
You look at those 2 touches as well with your Rudy not quite getting enough on a strike, and Harrington there just a touch that carries it out for a goal kick, and you realize it's preseason. The legs are still, they're finding their way. The legs are maybe still a bit heavy. Forgetting that these guys are training full on, that they're still going. They wouldn't possibly be as fresh as when during the season when they would maybe ease up on training a couple days before. It's very much full on with the fitness now and to get them as quick in the game shape as possible.
Perhaps a frustrated Harrington with a thundering header forward, forcing Bernardez into a foul from behind on Urruti, and the Honduran goes in the book. So yellow card here for Bernardez in the 49th minute.
Say to get him into game shape as quick as possible, but obviously with reason, and it's neat that Coach Caleb Porter chatting with him today, just how you gradually bring the players along and every little thing. And if you see Coach Porter tonight, he's not wearing a tie. He went from wearing a tracksuit last week to tonight. He's more formally dressed but without the tie, and so maybe we'll see the tie come on when the season starts. So it's just gradually having that progression.
It's like a good training session. You progress from one phase to another. He's got to go through the entire wardrobe as well. Mark Watson preferring the tracksuit here, the 43-year-old coach for San Jose. Watson, a Canadian, former Canadian national team player, by the way. Ball bent in. Goodson heads it straight up into the air. Opportunity not lost yet on the Timbers. Rudy over his head. Goodson's doing a job of heading the ball straight into the air. Wondolowski, frustrated by the whole thing, runs back and heads it to his keeper, John Bush. Bush had a very nice first half. Cat-like quickness for the 37-year-old on a couple diving saves. Beautiful ball bent in on a set piece from Fernandez that skipped off the turf and had Bush at full stretch. Here's Wondolowski checking back to Lenhart. He's got his head up. Cronin, tight overlap. Instead, Lenhart crosses. Headed away by Paparazzo.
Great position by Paparazzo there. You could see that car was pulled out by Lenhart, and Paparazzo just getting his positioning right in between the 2 sticks, and not much there because the ball in, and it didn't create much trouble for Paparazzo, but that's what shows that type of defender. He gets his positioning right all the time.
Chara, great look to Fernandez. Wider now to Alassane. He can go straight at the corner of the 18, bends one in, perhaps a little early for Urruti, and definitely too high. KeyBank is a proud founding sponsor of the Portland Timbers. It's just one part of KeyBank's involvement with our community. Visit key.com. Unlock your possibilities. Keith Blyer and Ross Smith on Timbers.com tonight. Streaming broadcast of this preseason friendly, although I don't know if friendly is the correct word, between these teams. They've had their dust-ups in the past. And right on cue, Stephen Lenhart and Pa Kaw tangling, although nice moment there. Kaw just tapping Lenhart on the back. Alan Gordon, perhaps public enemy number 1 at the moment in the minds and hearts of Timbers fans, is in the 18 and could very well replace Lenhart at some point here in the second half. We also look very much forward to the insertion of Diego Valeri into this match. Man who was dealing with a sports hernia toward the tail end of last season, as it turned out. Went through surgery. Salinas the back heel to Cronin. Dribbles out wide. Lenhart tries to find Wondolowski. He and Paparazzo tangle. Could be a nice matchup to watch throughout this season. Lenhart v. Papa. Alassane tries the crafty little flick behind his lead leg. Doesn't come off. Here comes Atiba Harris. Cuts on Kaw. Square, right to the feet of Chara, who bursts out. As if his boots were on fire, here he comes.
What pace and transition there to get the Timbers on the front foot.
They don't have numbers, it's 5v6 at the moment. Crowd appreciates that counterattack though. They were excited by the possibilities. Bernardez clears it. This is Shea Salinas to Wondolowski. Left-footed shot just wide. Wando wants that one back.
Timbers a bit fortunate there. Salinas just cutting inside of Jack JEWSBURY and forcing Paparato to come off of his line, and there you see the ball in. I think it's taking a deflection off Chara, who was backtracking, and Wondolowski. I think he knows that was a chance to get it in the back of the net.
And to wait for that ball to slide in front of him and then close those hips so quickly. Difficult technique. Wondolowski has done it before, however. Had that incredible 2012 season in which he tied the all-time record with Roy Lassiter for goals in a year by anyone in MLS. Scoring productivity fell off, and that was a poor pass there in 2013. It still means so much to this San Jose side. Fernandez double teamed by Cato, and Bernardez nearly got by them both. There's Urruti throwing his body in. Really interesting comments from Caleb Porter this afternoon, Ross, as Goodson plays the ball out over the far touchline, about the different kinds of forwards. You know, when we say number 9, there's a lot of talk these days about, you know, what's a true number 9 or who's your 10. And there's actually a very interesting piece in which they use a lot of Timbers players as examples on MLSsoccer.com about what all those numbers means. So fans can certainly look that up if they so choose. But you know, the prototypical number 9 used to be that stationary, strong, back to goal forward. And wow, that is a clean tackle by Harris on Nagbe. At least that's what Dave Gantar thinks. Caleb Porter is up, standing at the corner of his technical area. And we certainly hope that Nagbe is all right.
It's a strange one by the referee there to see Nagbe go down. Usually the ball has to be knocked out, whether that's a preseason call. Again, we see the challenge come in. The fans have let their opinion be known, but it's a nice sharp turn, and I think Nagbe's got a case there that it should have been a free kick. I think the referee might know that as well too, for him blowing the whistle without the ball even having to go out of play.
It may not have been anything more than a free kick, but it was certainly, I think, a foul on Atiba Harris, 29-year-old, the St. Kitts and Nevis international. But the point I was making, Ross, about the kind of number 9 player that a Caleb Porter prefers is not that immobile, strong forward necessarily.
Yeah, you've got the likes of Urruti, who can run the channels, he can stretch the defense, but as well too he can hold up that play, and it's remarkable just how strong Urruti can. He can have his back to goal and hold off to the big center halves and bring other players into play and give it that link up. So Urruti, where he offers that number 9 where he can stretch the defense and provide that link up play, he can be that strong striker as well. You see the referee as well too had a word with the 4th official just to realize I think he got it wrong.
I like that. That's a good piece of officiating by a 4-man crew. Not only does he now call the foul, he gave a yellow card to Atiba Harris. So 3 Earthquakes are carrying cautions. Fernandez bends one in. That is a really dangerous spot, but John Bush was all over it. So Atiba Harris, Sam Cronin, and Victor Bernardez all carrying yellows in this match here in the 57th minute. 1-0 San Jose. It is a 26th minute own goal falling on the shoulders, or in this case off of the head of Paparato. Shank clearance there by Bernardez. Here come the Timbers with Mikey Harrington. Wonderful offseason for Michael Harrington. Not only did he spend some time with the U.S. national team, but he is also now a married man to big events in Harrington's life after a breakout season for this Timbers side. Fernandez into the feet of Rudy. Off balance, tried to drop it back to Szymanski. It falls to Fernandez. Wide to Alisson. Low service. Blocked out. Alisson now dribbling and goes for the chip. I think he was caught between two minds there.
Yeah, it was good build-up play by the Timbers, though. You look at the first ball from Carr coming out from the center back, and you see the positions that Fernandez takes up, and the way Carr's ball just cut out the midfield completely of San Jose resulted in this play by Khalif, and he's just got it wrong. He's tried to bend that ball in with a bit of whip, and he's just caught it completely wrong.
Well, Donovan Ricketts, I don't know if he's touched the ball here in the first 15 minutes of the second half, Ross. Portland not letting Wondolowski or Lenhart in behind at all. Applying all the pressure. Szymanski, Alisson, Fernandez. Into Nagbe. Look at that move. Put the ball on one side and ran around the other. And then a shot for the near post from Alisson. But Nagbe, I'm not even sure if he meant to do that. The man is an absolute wizard.
It's a good touch, but his reaction as well too, just to see after it skidded off the turf. He's able to get around the other side of the defender to try and make something just out of nothing.
Just want to make sure I saw what I thought I saw there. That's the shot from Alisson, but moments before, what Nagbe did on the dribble was something special. All right, here's the first yellow card for the Timbers. Paparato, who is being introduced to a young Steven Lenhart tonight, Ross. He's learning what number 16 in red is all about.
It's been a good battle, and I don't know what the referee's seen there. That's just a strong striker and a big full-hearted center half, just making an honest challenge at the goal kick.
Well, we are building up to the matches that matter. Caleb Porter said earlier this week that, we're going to play these matches to win as if the season has already begun, but we all know there are no true points at stake here tonight as they trail San Jose 1-0. It does matter come March 8th, the opener for the Timbers, less than 2 weeks away now, and they will host the Philadelphia Union and Maurice Edu, who has returned to North American soccer after a long stint with Rangers in the SPL and Bursaspor in Turkey. That'll be March 8th, the opener for the Timbers, as a blast from Lenhart slices over the crossbar. And that game will start at 7:30. And it'll be on Root Sports. Nice turnout tonight here at Providence Park. Over 13,500 fans to watch this one, and they are now applauding the impending insertion into the match of Diego Valeri. Boy, you don't suppose Valeri has become a fan favorite in 1 year as a Portland Timber. Alisson off and Diego Valeri on. Your Fleer player substitution at just over the hour mark here. Valeri, as we mentioned earlier tonight, played that last third of the season with a nagging injury. As it turned out, it was a sports hernia. Required surgery. The surgery was successful. He has been, as Caleb has put it, 100%. But it's all about building that base and ramping up to March 8th when they hope to have him on the field from the opening whistle. So Valeri will go for 30 minutes. Gaston Fernandez dispossessed, and then the ball is snatched right back by the Timbers. Look at how hard Michael Harrington is running up this near touchline. Square to Valeri, drops to Nagbe, shoots. Another nice diving save by John Bush. That was on frame.
He's been solid tonight, John Bush. It was a great strike by Nagby. You can see his intent. It was a good pass from Valeri, getting a good touch on the ball, and Nagby just trying to open up and trying to find his way just into that far corner. But Bush, we see that experience, and he's already seen that shape and get himself across.
Yeah, that's the quality that Valeri brings. That was his first touch, and it was in traffic, and it was a deftly placed back pass right to Nagby with the outside of the boot. Alisson to Harrington. Chess into an attacking direction, and now it's Szymanski. Valeri again, another great one-touch pass right at the top of the 18. In for Nagby. You can't quite get it through 4 or 5 San Jose defenders, and they have really retreated, has this Earthquake side. Wondolowski is playing well behind Leonard. They're going with a 4-4-1-1 at this point in time. Harrington too much for Valeri. So it's March 8th against Philadelphia. That is the opener for the Timbers. As for San Jose, they actually had to postpone their scheduled MLS opener because, Ross, the Earthquakes are in the CONCACAF Champions League. And so their first match of true significance is on March 11th down in Santa Clara. They will take on Toluca of Liga MX in a home-and-home 2-game aggregate goal series. Cronin, driven ball. Very good look for Harris. JEWSBURY gets enough on it. Harvey drops for Salinas. This time it's Chara with the block. He comes away. Valeri and Urruti not quite on the same page. Look how hard Urruti worked, though. Even though he didn't get the pass he wanted, he applied pressure, and the Timbers got the ball right back.
we all took a breath there. Harrington just didn't quite get the connection he was looking for. Wondolowski was just about onto it.
As a man who played a little bit of outside back himself, although at much lower levels, I know exactly how it feels when that kind of pass leaves your boot and just barely misses the toe of a player like Wondolowski. Bit ambitious there from Paparazzo. John Bush stands over the ball to burn a few seconds. 66th minute now. San Jose up 1-0 on an own goal in the 26th minute. Roberto Paparazzo. Now the San Jose team has their hands full with that Toluca side, Ross. In fact, LA's got to play Tijuana in the quarterfinals of the CONCACAF Champions League. Kansas City has Cruz Azul. Only once in the history of the event has an MLS side advanced past the Mexican side. That was the Sounders last year. Toluca, I think, is currently sitting in second place, right in the middle of their clausura, the Mexican League season. The exciting thing is that the Timbers are going to be in the CONCACAF Champions League later this year. Another reason to have that depth as Valeri makes a shout for a foul from behind. Doesn't get it.
Very much so. You talk about, you see it with Real Salt Lake and seasons past, and you go deep into this Champions League, and of course you wanted those results on such a stage and to be playing these quality teams, but to have that depth as well too. So you, of course, successful on both ends, and your league play, you're taking care of that in the Champions League. But what a great experience it's going to be for the fans as well too of the Timbers Army, and and that Providence Park here to have teams coming in and to be competing in the Champions League.
Ball falls to Zemansky. Fakes the cross, now sends one in. Too much for Valeri. Tiba Harris heads back to Cato. Chested down by Lenhart. This is classic. Whoop! I was going to say this is classic earthquake soccer, but Lenhart never looked over his shoulder.
I think we're seeing on both sides of the park, both teams, just how it is perhaps preseason here, just the rhythm of the play and the understanding just breaks down here and there. And again, it's expected. The teams are just over a month, if that, into their training and getting to know one another, but also getting the fitness levels up. And you start to see that now. 68 minutes gone, and the legs, the heaviness will start to creep in.
Agby lays it off for Valeri. Bernardez gets a foot in. It's Cato. Trinidad and Tobago product. Still just 21 years old. Already been in the league a few years. Timbers really moving forward with urgency now. Valeri across to Fernandez. I think he might have volleyed that into his own hand or arm, and it went out over the byline. That's why it's a goal kick. I don't believe that was blocked by the San Jose defender. Just had his arms up.
It just seems that final ball, the build-up play again, was spot on by the Timbers and cutting through San Jose, the defense, but again, just that final bit of quality that hasn't quite been there tonight to get that level, get that one equalizing goal.
I do think that Diego Valeri has added that creative spark already in his 7 or 8 minutes on the pitch.
Yeah, he sensed it when he came on the park as well too. Just the fans started singing again, and the passage of play, and the Timbers getting it down, and a couple of chances in Valeri's first few touches to cut open the defense of San Jose. He sees something other players don't see, and it's a line of pass, and not only does he see it, he can execute it as well too. And I think it gives the Timbers that dimension where they can play around teams, but also they can play through them when Valeri's on the park.
And he wasn't sent in to play his traditional central midfield role. He went on for Alisana outright. It's Gaston Fernandez. Timbers queued up, top of the 18. Ball bent in. Perfect flick-on header by Paparazzo, blocked by one of the Earthquakes defenders.
You see the attention that Paparazzo gains when he's getting up there into the box, and I think it's going to be fun to watch him on set pieces this season. And you can see the target man for the Timbers on free kicks is aiming for the big man.
Antar pushing Cato deeper for this throw-in. Under 20 minutes plus stoppage time remaining in this one. Timbers have the Jamaican side, Portmore United, on Wednesday here in the Rose City Invitational, presented by Park Lane Mattresses. And then on Saturday night, it'll be the Timbers and Vancouver Whitecaps FC. Vancouver beat Portmore 5-1 this afternoon. Haven't seen the rain at all this evening, knock on wood, but about a 40-50% chance of it. Did fall lightly during that first match. San Jose about to make a change. Cronin, sliding intervention of the Harrington pass in for Valeri. Wondolowski, plenty of soccer with his back to goal. Fernandez got by Koval there. I thought he was held up a bit much. Lenhart comes out and plays it under the referee's legs to release some pressure for the Earthquakes. How about that pass? Really impressive one-touch bending ball down the line from Cronin for Salinas. Salinas, I think, apologizing to Cronin over there for not being able to control that one. All right, substitution here for the Earthquakes in the 73rd minute. Sam Cronin will be coming off, and Kari Stevenson will enter the midfield for San Jose. Stevenson now 33 years old. Speak of Jamaica, he is of Kingston. And replaces Cronin, who was carrying that yellow card. Exciting moment here for the Timbers. Perhaps at the next dead ball. Their top draft pick in the 2014 MLS Super Draft will be coming on. Fernandez has got some space. Tries to bend one for that far post. And again, John Bush collecting his paycheck tonight by diving and bringing in balls off the bounce, because he's done that 5 or 6 times here tonight.
It's great overlapping play by great overlapping play by Harrison there, just to create that detention wide. And Fernandez, you can see, just trying to use that defender as a block to screen the goalkeeper and trying to whip it in.
Bush actually took that one out of the air. All right, so here is Shilo Shuma, number 12 in Portland Timbers white, making his Providence Park debut. He'll be coming on for Maxi Arudi. Shuma, out of the University of Maryland, was born in Zimbabwe, came to the United States as part of a grassroots soccer initiative, played in a prep school program, and then went to play for Sasha Sharovsky at the University of Maryland, and now a professional footballer out wide on the left for the Timbers.
It's a fantastic story, and what looks to be a fantastic player and acquisition to the Timbers, with his speed and his pace and his trickery on the outside as well too. He's come on in preseason and already shown a bit of what he can do.
Valeri slides one in for Shuma, who's got a ton of pace, but Cato, probably one of the only players in the league who can match him step for step, keeps the ball away from the speedy youngster. So Fernandez has moved to the top of the line for the Timbers. He'll play that central forward role with Valeri in behind him. So it'll be a good look here for Caleb Porter to analyze. Donovan Ricketts playing around with the ball. Just some technical, some Corver stuff by the goalkeeper. Bobs and weaves and then sends it forward. All right, final quarter of an hour here. 1-0 San Jose. Nagbe beyond Stevenson, shoots. Blocked off the backside. Falls to Chara. Cato plays out to Atiba Harris. Cato's done a very nice job as an outside back here in this second half. Traditionally an attacking player for this Earthquake side, proving his versatility. Lots of space here for Jordan Stewart. Not much coming of it.
And Stewart realizing that was a valuable chance for San Jose there, and Wondolowski as well. He found himself in space, and the Timbers, they were struggling to recover there.
Fly Alaska Airlines nonstop from Portland to over 30 cities, including new flights beginning this fall to Atlanta, Dallas, Fort Worth, Reno, Tahoe, and Tucson. Explore more and spend less at alaskaair.com. Shuma couldn't control that ball, throwing here for San Jose. That ball underneath Kari Stevenson, right to Fernandez. Stevenson, in his frustration, fouls the Argentine from behind. Yeah, it's just one corner kick that was headed back across the face of goal by Clarence Goodson, and then accidentally, of course, headed in by Norberto Paparato beyond his own goalkeeper, Donovan Ricketts. The only difference between these two sides. Timbers have been the brighter team in attack. There's just no doubt about that. And this man, Fernandez, has bent in many dangerous balls. What do you do here from straight on, though, Ross?
I think Fernandez is lining it up, maybe having a sight at goal.
Off the wall. Oh, the flying scissor kick by Schuma. Over the top of the crossbar. And a whistle back at the top of the 18. And it's a handball, I believe. That deflection came off of the arm of one of those Earthquakes defenders. I think it might have been Wondolowski.
It was a good call by the referee to spot that with the wall, jumping and using the arms as a block. As Gaston looked like that set piece was going to go through, and he's, I think, lining it up again in front of the Timbers Army.
Take two. A little closer this time.
It's good distance as well too, just enough to get it up and around the wall.
Fits the eye of the taker. Arudi being a nuisance in that wall along with Pamo Duca. Actually, Paparazzo. It's Paparazzo, excuse me. Arudi has left the match moments ago. Couldn't keep it down. Plenty of bend, not enough dip.
I think he's tried to catch the keeper off there. I think the goalies, when they set up their wall, they all set it up, and of course they protect the side where the wall is, and Fernandez perhaps hoping that Bush would just sort of cheat over to one side, and they call it giving them the eyes, and he's tried to go back to where the keeper was. Didn't quite get it right.
Schuma drops for Harrington. How about the flying side scissor volley by Schuma? That was forgotten there after that handball on the Earthquakes in the wall. I mean, a lot of flair involved in that attempt by the rookie.
Great athleticism and imagination. You'd just like to see him get the ball at his feet and be able to run at the backs, and what he has to offer, giving the Timbers perhaps that width.
You're wondering where Rodney Wallace is, a player that would be brought on in a match like this, perhaps in a wide attacking position. Rodney Wallace, unfortunately, late in that playoff run by the Timbers, suffered significant knee injuries. Needed reconstructive surgery, and he's out probably until, boy, the middle of the summer. So we wish him a very quick and full recovery. All right, corner kick earned here for the Timbers. Just over 10 minutes to go. I'll tell you, this Fernandez is 90 minutes fit. He's been moving all night long.
It's a player that just seems full of the game.
Szymanski misses. Harris up high. Stevenson, but a bit unsure on the ball to start his match.
Great ball.
Yeah, wow. And how about the touch to bring it down? It's a nice little flick by Szymanski into his former college teammate. Now Fernandez, Schuma, Fernandez, no call.
You can see right away the displeasure by Stewart getting right in Fernandez's face there. I think you saw it was a bit of acting going on. Trying to perhaps get the referee to make a decision, but it's one we'll have to see again. From here, it looks like there was a bit of contact.
Larry trying to send Nagbe in again. That is one of the more effective and dynamic partnerships in all of Major League Soccer. Valeri and Nagbe. JEWSBURY from distance, low and wide. The way Valeri just steps into a tiny little pocket of space to make himself available for Nagbe. All right, here's the, that's the shot from JEWSBURY. Pardon me. We're going to get a look at the non-penalty kick call by Dave Gantar. Jason Bernardez sure had a lot to say to Fernandez, standing over him and asking him to get up. Bernardez certainly making the argument that Fernandez made a meal out of that challenge, trying to draw the penalty kick.
Yeah, certainly from here it looked as though Fernandez rode a bit of the body contact, and as soon as he felt it, he was going to deck, but it looked like he had a claim for the penalty. The Timbers Army certainly thought so.
Wondolowski apologizing to Diego Valeri. Yellow card has been issued to Kari Stevenson for that last challenge. Freddie Piquion set to come on for Portland, and the Earthquakes will make a double switch. But first it will be, let's see, San Jose's Adam John coming on for Stephen Lennart. John, second-year player now out of Stanford. And Shea Salinas will come off in favor of Sam Garza. So Garza and John on for the Earthquakes. Darlington Nagbe. Oh, it's Jack JEWSBURY that's going to come off here. So who goes and plays right back? If Fred Piquion is coming on for JEWSBURY.
I think what you might see here, Keith, is three at the back.
Why not?
Paparazzo going off to the right side, Ka obviously in the middle, and Harrington on the left. Putting Piquion up front there for Fernandez to work off, and you see exactly there their thought, route one. Play it off Piquion and get yourselves around them.
Schuma shakes off Harris. A little late on the square pass into Zemanski. Paparazzo, nice sliding tackle. It's funny, Nagbe started jogging off. He just assumed that he would be the substitution. And instead, Caleb Porter gets very aggressive here in the final 6 minutes. Why not? Play with three in the back. 3-4-3 or maybe a 3-5-2. Piquion brings it down with a beautiful touch, but he's offside. Wow.
No, if he was offside, it wasn't by much. Looking at Piquion there, just how he held this run, and the offside trap was on by San Jose, but Piquion just sort of bending his run and coming in, and as we see it here, I think that he could have been offside, and what a fantastic touch here to bring it down, and I'm disappointed to hear the whistle by the referee.
Must be said, Bush made the save. He's had a nice match. 37-year-old Major League Soccer veteran, John Bush. Schuma doing a great job of keeping his team in possession, has not lost the ball yet. Interesting in that Jack JEWSBURY gave the captain's armband to Paul Moduka, player who was not even with the Timbers at this point last season. Came over from playing in Norway, also playing in Qatar and Saudi Arabia, and is now a very important member of this Timber side, currently wearing the armband. Now look at Schuma drawing a foul. Surrounded by a trio of Earthquakes defenders. Here's Zemanski. Piquion went near post, ball went far post. John Bush coming all the way out. Senses Piquion's on his way. It's Adam John with the header at midfield for San Jose, and falls back to John.
Well done by Piquion, trying not to let Bush. He wanted to get that ball back in the box and to take the air out of the attack by the Timbers.
Clear foul there by Michael Harrington on Harris. Harrington just jumps back up, retreats to a defensive position. He's got to keep track of Wondolowski at the moment. Just over 3 minutes plus stoppage time remaining. 1-0 San Jose over the Timbers here. Portland's first match of the Rose City Invitational, presented by Park Lane Mattresses. Harris heads flicked on by John. Paparazzo in front of Wondolowski. $13,000 Timbers fans chanting PTFC. Hagby in for Piquion. Fernandez might have been obstructed. That's what Piquion saw.
You see Fernandez, he's trying to come into that hole just off the defenders in between San Jose's midfield, and just drifting into those awkward areas for defenders, because you don't know whether to quite go in there or whether to stay and keep your line. Be interesting to see that partnership with Piquion and Fernandez, where Piquion will be that strong striker who just holds up the play or will perhaps run the channels, and where Fernandez can get into those nice areas.
I think he'll play. I don't know if he'll be a regular starter for the Timbers, but he provides that option off the bench. I think he'll play an important role this season for the Timbers. Piquion, player that you can put on late, you can win balls. Yep.
Such as the what a turn. Such as the Real Salt Lake game that Piquion scored last year with a great header.
One newcomer to another. Fernandez to Schuma. Drops for Harrington. Final minute or so, plus stoppage time. Yeah, that was an amazing turn there by Gaston. Fernandez. Paparazzo in. Oh, went over the top of Bernardes. Fernandez knew nothing about it. Nearly fell back. Does fall back to Gaston. He had 3 looks at the ball he was not expecting. Never really had a true chance to do much, but that ball fell to him 3 times in 3 seconds.
Could only rely on reactions there. It was desperate times for San Jose, just the ball seeming to hit every part of their body and keeping it alive, but the Timbers couldn't quite get on the end.
You do have to give San Jose credit for their defensive effort here tonight. They have frustrated the Timbers. Because I would like to ask you, Ross, what Donovan Ricketts has done for most of this match.
No, you're spot on, and I think with the Timbers too, they'll take a lot of positives out of tonight. There's been some fantastic play at times, and we see just what these Timbers, a little taste of what they'll be able to offer. But it's putting all the pieces together. It's putting that how solid they can be at the back and that fluid play when they go forward. And as I said, we've seen both sides of it, both sets of it, but it's getting that consistency where it's that complete game for the full 90 minutes and going forward.
Well, you can see 3 minutes of stoppage time, so we're not quite done here at Providence Park. Piquion and Stewart tangle. Paparazzo sends one in. It falls to Fernandez. He falls to the ground. The ball just got underneath him. I don't believe he has much of a shout for a penalty kick. That's definitely a foul here deep at the other end on John.
Yeah, great ball in here. Paparazzo, and you see Piquion scrambling, getting a great touch, and Fernandez I think taking a bit of a knock, but I think it was more disappointment in himself that the ball fell to his feet and couldn't quite get the touch.
Oh, again. Well, I tell you, in the final 15 minutes, we've watched Gaston Fernandez lead the line, right? It was Urruti for most of this match. Fernandez finding one opportunity after another, a bit of them, or some of it a bit fortuitous, but sure is scaring San Jose late in this match.
I think what's important in the situations as well to this stage of the season is the fact that you're there. A player like Fernandez, you're not putting the ball in the back of the net, but as long as you're there, you're there to take the chances, and you're putting yourself in the dangerous area, and you're able to see how the build-up is going to be.
Well, if he's saving the clinical finish for March 8, I'm okay with it. I must say. Corey Stevenson. Really tall midfielder. Mold of Yaya Toure. He is a big body out there, but very fluid in his movement. Bernardez just trying to steer the Earthquakes to a preseason victory. It would be the first defeat of this preseason for the Portland Timbers. They drew 2 and won 2 in Arizona. Paparazzo, header over the top of John. Time running out here for Portland in this one. Like that flick by Schuma. Goodson heads away. Perhaps the chance to send 1 or 2 more balls in. Fernandez didn't quite make the pass wide to Nagbe that he wanted. Frustrating end of the match for Fernandez, but he was lively, and we had a flash and a glimpse of his potential. So a handshake at midfield for Misters Porter and Watson. And the final score here tonight at Providence Park is Portland 0, San Jose 1. And truth be told, the Earthquakes never quite scored a goal. They get credit for the one that went off of Paparazzo's head into his own net. So before we sign off here this evening on Timbers.com, Ross, your thoughts on the 90 minutes here tonight in this preseason atmosphere for both sides?
I thought it was a good match tonight, and a lot of positives to take for the Timbers. We saw glimpses of the brilliance and the new faces that they've brought into the side, and just I think that flair and that bit of creativity that we're going to be looking forward to seeing this season going forward. At the back as well too, like, solid enough. The unfortunate goal, the own goal, but aside from that, Donovan Ricketts wasn't too troubled. And what's exciting with the Timbers is, as we say, the new faces, the depth. We're without Will Johnson as well tonight, and I think the Portland Timbers, when they get into that change rooms, that Caleb Porter will of course, as always, have a lot of notes to work on, but at the same time take a lot of positives from this. And I think you put that one down to another 90 minutes for some players, and then you push on and you get ready for Wednesday.
Yeah, you hear that phrase often in soccer, we were the better side, and sometimes it sounds a bit hollow when you lose a match, but I think certainly in this preseason environment, the Timbers were the better side over the 90 minutes. And you're right, Mr. Ricketts had little, if nothing, to do here this evening. Perhaps that last little bit of quality, the opportunities to finish by a number of players, and John Bush made some significant saves for San Jose in the Earthquakes goal. And then, of course, there is the issue of defending set pieces, especially corner kicks. Timbers got better and better at that over the 2013 season. That was kind of their Achilles heel, and I'm sure that they'll sort those things out before March 8th.
Yeah, of course, and these are all the little tweaks, and you see all the little things perhaps that the Portland Timbers will be able to go in and get on the training pitch this week to work on. And you perhaps secretly hope for a game such as this, where there are things to point out, to work on, and to test the character of the Timbers. Credit to San Jose, what a great opponent to come in here, and it was tough for the Timbers, to defend against with Lenhart and Wondolowski, and as well for the Timbers going forward. They came up against a strong back four with San Jose, so it was a true test, and a test for them just to see where they're at, and to gauge what steps they need to make going forward towards March 8th.
Yeah, after 4 matches without a loss in preseason, perhaps a 1-0 defeat will do some positive things for the Timbers as they build toward what really matters, March 8th against Philadelphia. And there was the only goal in this match. Very little to separate the two sides tonight. The Timbers are back here on Wednesday evening, so join us for another internet broadcast on Timbers.com. The Portland side will face Portmore United out of Jamaica. We'll be here Wednesday night at 7:30. For Ross Smith, I'm Keith Blyer. Thanks for tuning in tonight. We'll see you on Wednesday.
Portland Timbers would like to thank all of you for coming out to tonight's match. We hope you had a wonderful experience at Providence Park. Make sure you drive home safely. Catch the second day of the Rose City Invitational Wednesday, February 26th, as the San Jose Earthquakes take on the Vancouver Whitecaps at 5 p.m. And the Timbers take on Portmore United at 7:30 right here at Providence Park. We've always had a place to watch, now we have a place to root. We are Root Sports. Since 1960, when Joe Ray began with one Oregon Millward Club, we've been dedicated to crafting reliable windows and doors. Today you can see, touch, and feel reliability in our beautiful windows and doors because of their durability, energy efficiency, and worry-free performance. We measure our success by the relationships we build with our customers, suppliers, and communities where we live and work. We partner with organizations such as the Green Building Initiative, which accelerates green building practices by promoting environmentally progressive approaches that are practical, affordable,